Hello everyone, I'm the Nerdy Fool and welcome back to Pathfinder Kingmaker. Last time we got word that the Hell Knights are here at the secluded lodge, and we are here to try and stop them. Or at least convince them to leave, because I really don't want them in my land. Though they have apparently been slightly nicer in their looking for Darvin, the pirate. Queen, how did you get here? Who told you about this place? I demand answers. You don't get to demand anything from me. Why is she talking? Why she talk like that to you? She importanter than you? Nana looks back and forth between you and Lynxia, as though comparing. No. Tell me about the investigation. Darvin told me where to look for you. I'm not gonna just mention I know where Darvin is and I've talked to him. That's a bad call. I stumbled across this place by pure chance, where I don't have to explain anything to you. Tell me more about the investigation. Lynxia shrugs. We've interrogated the capital's population, but no one proved to have any solid clues. Now we've moved our investigation to the neighboring villages. I'll find Darvin, whatever it takes. Today, tomorrow, in a week, or in a year, he won't escape me. But you never answered my question. How did you get here? I stumbled across this place by pure chance. I'm not so easy to deceive, Queen. Lynxia glares at you with narrowed eyes. I don't believe you. I strongly recommend you tell me the truth. And here I thought I was pretty good at persuasion and bluff and various other charisma skills. But I guess not, because they didn't allow me to roll. I don't have to explain anything to you. Lynxia grabs her sword. Oh no, you won't avoid the question so easily. Hell Knights to battle. Oh, okay. Good job, my friend. I doubt anyone else could have managed to distract Lynxia for so long. Now all that's left is to finish her off. Hello, dude? I said I'd talk to her. Not that you could approach invisibly and stab her in the back. Treason! To battle, Hell Knights! Keep Darvin alive, but kill all the rest.
Ends here.
You have a lot of Hell Knights. I mean, it's not gonna matter. Let's drop a haste, even though I don't think it super matters. And then fireballs. Avoiding the staff of the place, which means I'm hitting myself when I don't have to, but I don't want to hit Doomra. Damn, this is not the end. Hell Knights, cover my back. Don't run away. Oh dear. Also, you just canceled my spell? That doesn't seem terribly fair. Also, Valerie, the others can help out there. I need you to take care of these ones. Okay, you guys have cast haste on yourself. I'm gonna go back to my fireball plan, because I still think it was a decent plan. You guys really just gonna stand there? Alright, you're casting spells. Let's get some characters to deal with that. Yeah, you're not gonna last long. I mean, yeah, Darvin attacked, which wasn't great. But they attacked me as well. I just want you out of my kingdom. Give me my 20,000 and then leave. Steel helm. Full plate. I thought Hell Knight armor was supposed to be like adamantium or something. But I guess not. All just a bunch of basic gear. And then some fancy Hell Knight helmets. We probably should sell stuff soon. Inventory's starting to get a little full. Alright, Darvin. Let's talk. Darvin turns to you and graces you with a shining smile. I thank you for your help. Without you, I'd never have been able to deal with this fanatic. I hope you'll forgive me for the little show I took the liberty of putting on. After all, the results weren't bad, wouldn't you agree? Anyhow, it seems I owe you an explanation. Again, that's beginning to become a habit. But before I forget, please accept this modest reward. You've earned every bit of it. 20,000 gold. I don't need your money. You set me up. Now Lynxia thinks we're accomplices. That's true. She got away and she thinks that we're on your side, which is gonna come back to haunt me. Explain yourself then. I'm listening. Lynxia was right about you. You belong on the rack. You set me up. Now Lynxia thinks we're accomplices. I regret if I've caused you any discomfort. I hope that the sound of golden coins jingling in your purse will help you forget this unfortunate episode. Valerie folds her hands across her chest. I cannot say which is worse, the lies and manipulation or the sincere belief that righteous wrath they caused can be bought off. Alright, explain yourself then. I'm listening. You do remember the whole story I told you earlier, right? About the duel with the Chelish noble and the rebellion which followed his death? You see, that whole story has one little additional piece. Probably an important piece? Well, not so little to be precise. Darvin grins. His name was Mammon, and he is one of the archdevils, the Ardent Prince, or so I've been told. He's made a pact with me, and I'm having trouble upholding my side of the bargain, and his patience is growing thinner by the day. Yes. So the Chelish noble you killed is Mammon? But he's already dead, so should it matter? The Archdevil Mammon is Hell's accountant and treasurer. He rules over the lightless realm of Erebus, and is generally worshipped by greedy and corrupt mortals. His unholy symbol is an azure coin with the head of Mammon stamped on it. So he's a devil. You had a duel with him and killed him, but you also have a pact with him that you're not able to... I'm super confused. I mean, obviously killing devils doesn't actually kill them. You just sent him back to the hells. And he's therefore continuing to hold his pact over you, I guess? That Chelish noble had a pact with Mammon too. Wait. No, I'm confused. The Chelish noble and the rebellion that followed, you see one additional piece. No, so not his name is Mammon, referring to the Chelish noble. Mammon is just the additional piece of the story you haven't told me about. Gotcha. I'm following along now. You're a follower of Mammon, that you have a pact you can't accomplish. The Chelish noble that you killed also had a pact with Mammon, which I expect is commonplace for Chelish nobility, and the noble was in no hurry to fulfill his end of the deal either. By killing him, I earned Mammon's gratitude, and he offered me a similar pact, a handsome sum of gold, and my cherished dream come true. That's what he promised, so how could I say no? So... the noble had a pact with Mammon that he wasn't following, so you killed him, which made Mammon happy. Then you made a deal which you're also not following, so Mammon probably wants you dead as well. Bro, I mean, how did you make a pact with Mammon? And what was the point of your pact with Mammon? How did you make a pact with Mammon? You do remember the whole story I told you earlier, right? About the duel with the Chelish noble and the rebellion which followed his death? You see, that whole story has one little additional piece. Yes. No, I got that. You said that a second ago. That was clear. Yeah. What was the point of your pact with Mammon? I'm to become a king. No more, no less. Darvin grins, but this time his grin is joyless. The subjects of my kingdom are supposed to worship Mammon as their official deity and pay taxes to his temples. Okay. It's not so difficult a task, I suppose, especially if you have enough money. The only problem is Lynxia. The moment I lay my kingdom's first cornerstone, I'll become an easy target. She'll instantly find me and promptly introduce me to all of her torture devices. However, I fear that soon I'll have to take the risk of establishing my kingdom nevertheless. Mammon is growing restless, and in the end, I'd rather risk facing Lynxia than challenge him. So this means you want to become a king? Well, yeah, obviously. Oh yes, it was my dream ever since I was sailing the Inner Sea as part of the Taldorian merchant fleet. I even came up with the name for my kingdom, Reinhardt. Fond memories of those careless times when I had neither crazy zealots nor offended archdevils chasing me. Yeah, you made a lot of poor decisions in your life. And what is it that you want from me? Help me get for Lynxia, once and for all. Of course, your help will be amply rewarded. I can be very grateful. I'll take your deal, or I've heard enough. I kind of heard enough. I mean, ultimately, the problem at this point is that even if we kicked him out of our kingdom, Lynxia is going to come back for us. Probably. Because she thinks we sided with him in that assassination attempt. Like, that we were part of it. And we weren't. Not until she ordered her men to attack us. If she comes after me, I'll take care of her. That's kind of the direction I'm thinking. I don't really want anything to do with you, or your kingdom, or Mammon. I've heard enough. So what do you say? Will you accept my offer? I'll take your deal. Lynxia was right about you. You belong in the wreck. Just get out of my kingdom. Don't let me catch you around here again. I think I'm just going to go that route. I'm generally chill with a lot of people. That's the problem. I am chill with a lot of people. You're not actively hurting my people. I've allowed goblins. I've allowed kobolds. Granted, I allow them somewhat because they're acting better than the general behavior of their species. Maybe the rest of the goblins not so much. But it's like they're trying to be more civilized. Even if they don't reach the status of the other civilized races. So it's like the idea that I'll allow Tartuccio to live here, but you've got to go, feels wrong. Alright, whatever. I'll take your deal. We'll just deal with Lynxia when she shows up. I don't like her either. She was beating up my townspeople. Excellent. In that case, I'll establish my capital immediately. It will be a thriving trading hub, and its king will count himself in your debt. You won't be disappointed. You have my word on that, and I always keep my promises. I hope the same can be said about you. Darwin smiles disarmingly. If you ever show up to stab me in the back in the same way, I'm going to be unhappy with you. Yeah, that whole thing just turned out pretty poorly, and I didn't really have a great answer regardless. Yes, I see you had some Hell Knights as guests. Doomer waves dismissively. Blast the snots back to hell. They scare simple folk away just sitting there. Good thing you've shown them what's what. Alright, let's see your wares. I've got a bunch of junk to offer you. You don't have anything of value that I need to worry about. So, there's all of that. Plus, if we... Well, I can just go through basically all of this, because it's all just garbage. The spear, yep, just a long spear +1. I guess I should sort them by value, so then it's easy to tell what is, like, low-quality junk that I can just sell. Because particularly, like, this longsword, to tell if it's a +1 or maybe mixed in amongst it is like a +5 or something, would be hard to figure out if I'm just going quickly. Wand of Prayer, we'll keep that, I suppose. Wand of Hold Person. I'm holding on to all my wands for no apparent reason. I recognize the silliness in it, because I just don't ever use them. Sure. That seems like a decent sell. Sweet, got some good money. And let's head back to our kingdom. Or specifically to our capital. Pretty soon the Bald Hilltop is gonna do its thing. So I want to be in the nearby area. Let's head in to the throne room. I'm sure the Hell Knight will come looking for me in my throne room. At least I would assume so. She knows where to find me. So we'll just have to wait around for whenever that progresses. So yeah, Lynxie is asking around about Darwin. We dealt with that. Jaethal has news. Hey, that's finally progressing. Jaethal learned something important about Enneo, the merchant that fled from you. She wants to discuss it with you. So he's the one that we think was involved in her original death. And is now... He was involved in her dagger ending up in a dead pig. Jaethal crosses the throne room, her gait determined and confident. It seems clear that the Inquisitor has something pressing on her mind. Finally, I have news about that half-blood. I expected him to seek shelter somewhere far from your lands, but no. He was spotted not far away. So where is he? Not far from the Valley of the Dead. What a fitting place for a Phrasmite, desperately trying to rid the world of the undead. Such determination might have been an asset in dealing with the Vortikai, but I wish to discuss something else. A half-blood was spotted chasing some pauper pilgrim woman. Judging by the things my agents managed to find out, the woman herself may turn out to be quite interesting. To track down the half-blood, I had to deal with a whole range of scum. Thieves, vagabonds, grave robbers. One of them located Enneo, but they preyed upon the pauper woman. Couldn't miss a chance to rob her blind. In her handbag, the thief found some ominous writings. Thinking the papers were cursed, he decided to rid himself of them by giving them to me. Do you know what they turned out to be? Excerpts from Serving Your Hunger, the sacred text of Urgathoa's followers. I've examined the stolen papers closely, and now I believe that their owner is a high-ranking priestess of Urgathoa. It seems this half-blood persists in his desire to rid the world of all my goddess's followers. He's skilled at covering his tracks, but now we have a chance to intercept him. Let's go to the Valley of the Dead and find this priestess before he acts. Then, when he comes for her, well, the servants of any deity should be able to stand up for their faith. Is it not so? So do we help our Urgathoa Inquisitor take on Enneo, servant of Pharasma? We'll look into it. Fine, as soon as the opportunity arises, we'll visit the Valley of the Dead. I do tend to help out my allies, even when they're evil. So we shall see. Thank you. I want to say, this is important to me. I've grown tired of drowning in silence, hearing never a word from my goddess. I wish to speak with this priestess and try to discover what Urgathoa may be expecting from me. I want answers. Answers from my murderer, among others. See, that's fair. Wanting to know more about your death. How interesting. Enneo, Jaethal's suspected murderer and the scoundrel who set the elves on us, has been spotted near the Valley of the Dead. What's even more curious, there's an old woman there, as well, a follower of Urgathoa. Jaethal seeks answers to many questions about her past and her destiny, and asks the Queen for help in her search. So wait for the developments, we will deal with that. Find Urgathoa's follower. We've got still 22 days. Plenty of time. And I'm sure we can teleport to the Valley of the Dead fairly quickly. We need Jaethal with us. And I'll probably want to check her inventory because I'm sure it's terrible. Let's see, Jaethal, what do you got? Yeah. Alright. That's on me. I've sold all my better stuff. Yeah, you've got that's an Inquisitor's item. So that's not bad. Giant Strength could be okay. Plus 4 Dex and Con doesn't matter because you don't have a Con score. So we'll go with Belt of Giant Strength. I don't know that any of the rest of this particularly matters. Armor-wise, you're wearing nothing, but you could wear... just light armor, maybe? Well, this is +3 light armor, so it's better than... Is it better? No, because you have the Braces of Armor +5. So that didn't actually help you. I noticed your AC didn't change. Interesting. I don't have a better scythe for you. I think we had a better scythe, but I probably sold it at some point because I never take you out. So, yeah. Let's see where we're going. Down here. I guess there. So probably teleporting here to the peak. Into the Valley of the Dead. So you're the Urgathoa priestess. You also have a scythe. The woman seems incredibly old and haggard. It's hard to believe she can move at all, let alone reach such wild places, but her dark eyes burn with a cold flame. Why do you disturb a poor pilgrim? I live perhaps my final days. She suddenly trails off, upon casting her eyes upon Jaethal. Has Urgathoa heard my pleas? I've been waiting for so long. Maybe? Jaethal does not seem pleased. She looks upon the old woman's pale and wrinkled face, barely concealing her disgust. You may call me Jaethal. You guessed correctly, we serve the same goddess. In case you are unaware, a servant of Pharasma is chasing you. We could help you, but first I would know who you are and how you might prove yourself useful. The woman nods lifelessly. I'm not surprised. The servants of Pharasma have chased me for nearly 40 years. My name is Taneka. What do you want to know? Who are you and what do you want from us? What do you know about Jaethal? Why are you seeking her help? What are you doing in the Valley of the Dead? Who are you and what do you want from us? This cannot be explained in one breath. Long ago, I was a powerful priestess of Urgathoa, the leader of a secret coven. I had everything: power, beauty, wealth, admirers ready to sacrifice their lives for me. I possessed a secret of Urgathoa's ritual, which grants the power to overcome death and old age. It demands the life of blood relatives as a payment, but what of that? I'd given birth to 2 adorable daughters, and raised them in anticipation of the day when their youth and beauty would become mine. Yeah, Urgathoa is terrible. But I was naive and overconfident of my power. I met an enemy who destroyed me and all my hopes of a second youth. But why would you care about the grief of a dying old woman? I still know the secret of the ritual, and I can share it with you, oh beautiful Jaethal. The ritual will grant you immense power. You can even become a living being again, if that is your wish. All I ask in return is that you prolong my life, raise me as undead. The other roads to eternity are closed to me, and I do not wish to die. This offer sounds tempting. What do you say, Melandra? Tell me more about what happened to you. You want Jaethal to kill you and raise you as undead, and in return you offer her the secret of the ritual? Made my decision. What do you know about Jaethal? Tell me more about what happened to you. Tanaka takes a deep breath. My ritual, it demands the victim be properly prepared. Some time ago, I took my daughters to the Coven's underground hall and lulled them into a magical sleep that was to last many months. However, I did not consider the father of one of the girls, also an adept of Urgathoa, would put the life of his child above his passion for me, and all that we believed in and lived for. The fool secretly went to beg for help, and where? The Temple of Pharasma, no less. Wow. An adept of Urgathoa went to the Temple of Pharasma to stop you from killing your daughters. Your whole family. I mean, cool with him turning from Urgathoa to Pharasma. Pharasma's, I think, a neutral god? Not a good god? Don't know that it says, but I believe she's neutral. The Lady of Graves is not highly revered in our country. Only 2 old priestesses lived at her temple, but when they learned that a secret coven of Urgathoa operated in the city, they called the Inquisitor for help. I remember him clearly, so young, so proud, a half-elf of rare beauty, thick brown hair, and a gaze that burned with the certainty that he was his goddess's favorite weapon. He broke into the hall while I was preparing the ritual. We fought, the Coven of Urgathoa against Pharasma's Inquisitor and his 2 companions. Everyone died that evening, except the 2 of us. But no matter how self-confident the young Inquisitor was, he could not defeat me. I remember the moment he realized it. I read it on his face, when he lost his confidence for the first time, but then he rushed to my daughters, still lying in slumber, and killed both in an instant. Then he turned to me and said, "No way out." And that was that. Wow. Inquisitor of Pharasma that just murdered 2 young children in their sleep. Well, we don't know the age. You raised them from when they were children, obviously, with this intent. I don't know that you actually stated their age. But yes, killing your 2 children in their sleep, just to stop you from later on being able to do the ritual. I mean, you could have tried to have more children. It's kind of a long process. Was mocking words a curse or just a guess? I do not know, but they bore the fruit of truth, no way out. My coven died, and my secrets were revealed. I had to flee to hide from the Pharasmites in the backwoods, down that rat hole, denying myself my usual luxuries. Without my daughters, I could no longer prolong my life and youth. Year after year, I tried in vain to conceive a child. Okay, so you did try. Year passed after year, in desperate attempts, flights, and hardship. My beauty and strength melted away, and I became a miserable, exhausted old woman. Jaethal's gift is now my only hope of escape from death. You want Jaethal to kill you and raise you as an undead, and in return you offer the secret of a ritual? I do not think killing me is necessary. Only the pathetic remnants of my former strength support my body. I need only loosen my grip and my end will come swiftly. Yes, in exchange I offer a priceless artifact, a priceless secret. It can be used in many ways to grant new powers or even a new life. I'd be interested to see what Jaethal would do if she came back to life, but if it involves Jaethal killing 2 of her own children, I don't even know if Jaethal has children. I suspect as undead she can't have children now. I don't know. Part of me is thinking before we make that decision, let's deal with these other questions first. What do you know about Jaethal? Why are you seeking her help? How could I not recognize the one chosen by the goddess? Her power in you shines like the full moon on a black velvet sky. I know that she can do many things, including sharing her gift with others. What are you doing here in the Valley of the Dead? I came here, sensing the awakening of an ancient and powerful undead creature, hoping perhaps I could somehow scoop up a handful of his incredible power, turn myself undead, and slip away from death. But it seems that I'm too late. Taneka whispers and lowers her head. Yeah, we dealt with that. Alright, Jaethal, I've made a decision. Ultimately, Jaethal doesn't need me to make a decision. She could do whatever she wants here. I'm listening. Despite her detached composure, the undead elf looks at you with tension in her eyes. She lowers her voice to a whisper. We might accept this offer, then change the agreement after I possess the secret of the ritual. Ritual is horrible. Its secret should die with Taneka. Yes. Knowledge is knowledge. Agree and receive the secret, then I will decide if we should use it or not. Or neutral evil. It's a bargain. It matters not whether the ritual is bloody. Like, I don't want to just always say no to Jaethal. So last time, she resurrected, or not resurrected, undeadified a girl in her last mission. A girl who had been killed, and she brought her back to life as an undead. And that girl begged to be allowed to die because she didn't want to live on as an undead. And I was like, yeah, Jaethal, that's not okay. This is someone who wants to be brought back as an undead, and so I'm not as opposed to letting Jaethal do it. The question about whether the ritual should just die with her or not. I mean, yeah, it's a terrible ritual. Let's just grab the knowledge. We can figure out what we want to do afterwards. And I have no actual problem with you turning her into an undead. Knowledge is knowledge. Agree and receive the secret. Then I'll decide if we should use it or not. Taneka looks at you with insane hope in her eyes. Then, with a trembling hand, she pulls a large scroll from somewhere under the rocks and hands it to Jaethal. I almost did not expect. I yearn to know that I have endless years ahead instead of an imminent end. I mean, I guess we're giving her eternal unlife when she is very evil. So that's probably bad. Didn't really consider it from that angle. Oh well. Give me this chance, sister, and be blessed by our goddess. Taneka's eyes slowly fade as her life force leaves her decrepit body. A moment later, the woman falls heavily to the ground dead. Jaethal looks at the corpse with disgust. Now I propose we leave this carrion to the ravens. This pathetic, weak, ugly creature was unworthy of Agathoa, and even more unworthy of her gift of unlife. Yeah, because Jaethal is all about preserving beauty. Having someone old be undead forever, not beautiful, is against her view of it. Valerie frowns. We had an agreement. No matter how vicious a creature this woman might be, the words given to her is as valuable as the word given to the most righteous people. This woman was a monster in life, and she'll be even worse as an undead. It may seem cruel, but in my opinion, we shouldn't revive her. I mean, there's some truth there. I hadn't really thought about the fact that... Because I was just like, yeah, giving someone who wants to be undead, allowing them to be undead is fine. But I didn't consider about the fact that we're allowing her to continue her evil ways for longer. Granted, there's lots of evil people. We're allowing Jaethal to continue being evil. But she's not... I mean, we don't know what evil you're continuing to do. We just know historically you were doing evil. And historically Jaethal was doing evil. I don't know. It's a rough call. Lawful neutral, we made a deal, Jaethal. Whether you like it or not, its conditions must be fulfilled. Or chaotic evil. Unleash an old evil undead priestess into the world? Why ever not? Raise her, Jaethal. Uh... I guess if I am hoping to, I don't know, correct Jaethal, help her see a different perspective, because obviously her current perspective is very skewed and wrong. In the same way that we've recently helped Valerie improve her own perspective, or that we helped Harem improve his perspective. Like the idea that this could eventually lead to Jaethal being alive again. It's like, I don't think I can actually convince her to not be evil. But what of these choices do I think would maybe make her better? I think I'm gonna actually go for the chaotic good. Thinking back on it, having an evil priestess of Urgathoa wandering around, probably actively doing evil rituals, is probably bad. So it may seem cruel, but in my opinion, we shouldn't revive her. Sorry, Valerie, that somehow I'm going against you on your viewpoint about resurrecting a evil priestess. I'm relieved that we can always find a common language, Melandra. Let's move on. I'm impatient to study this ritual and hunt down the half-blood. The false merchant Enneo walks towards you with an easy gait. His calm friendliness has disappeared. Like a mask fallen from his face, his clothes are decorated with an easily distinguished symbol of Phrasma. I hope you've settled all your affairs with the poor old exile. It was an interesting show to watch. Time to explain yourself, Enneo. I don't have much to add beyond what I'm sure you already know. I'm the Inquisitor of Phrasma, and for almost 40 years I've hunted the undead and cultists of Urgathoa for the glory of the Lady of Graves. I destroyed Teneka's coven. I tracked Jaethal into the wasteland and killed her, only to find that her hideous deity returned her to life. To put an end to that, I made use of a company of naive young elves from a camp near the Thorn River. What a stunning frankness. Jaethal smiles lightly, almost affectionately. Did you imagine, Half-Blood, that those youngsters could handle me and the Queen? Do not be so naive, Inquisitor. I held no hope of the young elves, that the young elves would kill either you or your defender. No, I wanted you, rather, to kill them, and I did all I could to inform their relatives in Kyonin of the horrible violence you perpetrated. Retribution will follow sooner or later. One lonely warrior of Phrasma may fail, but 3 elven clans will find a way to exact their revenge. There's no way out, Jaethal, not for you. So you deliberately sent the elves to their deaths. Yeah, we've already seen he's willing to murder innocents just to take down this cult of Urgathoa. So you deliberately sent the elves to their deaths? They weren't undead. What grudge did you hold with them? Why did you kill Teneka's daughters? Same reason, just to stop her. He doesn't care about killing innocents. Did you track down Jaethal right after her expulsion from Kyonin? So you deliberately sent the elves to their deaths. They weren't undead. They were a necessary tool to complete my mission. In my youth, I thought the best decision was a bold, honest battle against apostates and monsters, but I learned much from my struggle against Teneka. There's nothing worse than seeing an abomination rise before you and being powerless to strike it down. One must use any method available. Nothing can justify the blood on your hands and the stain on your conscience. The law is strict, but it should not take innocent lives to punish the guilty. Agreed, Valerie. Absolutely agreed. And why did you kill Teneka's daughters? They were necessary for her disgusting ritual, and their death was my only chance to prevent it. Do not forget who I serve. Their honest deaths and their soul's journey to Phrasma's judgment was a far better fate than their mother had prepared for them. I guess that's fair? Because in this world, there is an afterlife and it's known. Like, people know that Pharasma and Pharasma's judgment is real. So then that gives you a different perspective on death than in our world, where if there is an afterlife or not, it's unknown. So death has a lot more meaning. I see where he's coming from. It's still cruel and harsh, murdering innocents. Did you track down Jaethal right after expulsion from Keonan? Immediately after the trial. I was born in Keonan and often visited. It is uncommon for high society ladies to perform ritual murders for the glory of the Dark Goddess, so the news quickly reached my native Greensgold, and soon came to me, when later the elves sentenced her to exile, rather than the usual life imprisonment. Well, how could I stay away? That's all well and good, but why do you come here now? I wanted to talk to you, Queen. My hunt for Jaethal is the greatest work of my life. She is the living example of the hideous essence of the cult of Urgathoa, the distortion of the world order, and the triumph of the evil intentions of our vile deity. Even if I die today, this story will end the way I intended, but you can still change your own role in it, Melandra. You've been playing games for too long, Zealot. Enneo allows himself to smile for the first time. I've heard this so many times, even among the priests of Pharasma. There are many who think my faith is insane, and my methods cruel and excessive, but that is the fate of the Inquisitor. Loneliness. Dead one's scum, of course, but at least she's our scum. And she always helps in fights. I mean, she doesn't. I leave her out of the battle. Always. But I don't like this other guy at all. He lied to us, told us tales. Just let him beat it. What use is a dead horse in a harness? Let's be rid of her. First she lost her position and respect, then she lost her life. Who needs a servant like her? So we could side with Enneo, lawful good. It was a mistake for me to ally with an undead murderer. I now know that Jaethal will never stop, and I must support you, Enneo. Neutral good, side with Jaethal. You're a dangerous fanatic. Innocent people have died because of you. More blood may be spilled unless you are stopped. Very true. I don't know of anyone that Jaethal is actively, like any innocents Jaethal is actively killing. But you just keep doing it over and over. Lawful neutral, side with Jaethal. Jaethal has served me well. I cannot allow you to kill her. Neutral, side with Enneo. Allegiance with an undead follower of a dangerous cult. This is harmful to my reputation. That's my only reason for supporting you, Enneo. Just protect my reputation. Or neutral evil, side with Jaethal. I care nothing for such nonsense as the blood of the innocent, but I can control Jaethal, and that's more I can say for you, which is unfortunate for you. Yeah, neutral good. Side with Jaethal. You're a dangerous fanatic. Innocent people have died because of you. More blood may be spilled unless you're stopped. You go too far. Everything will proceed as I planned, with or without me. Without you. Jaethal, you might want to back up. You are by far the weakest member of my team at the moment. Okay, who is repeatedly shooting you, Jaethal? Oh, sneak attack from behind by some guards. Wolf. Take care of them, please. You're probably the one that's dealing with
Stay behind me.
Jaethal. Or keep shooting her.
My
Hey, Jaethal didn't die in the fight. Excellent. And Enneo's down. But I'm sure we are going to have to deal with those elven families at some point, and that's going to be a problem. Because it's not really Jaethal's fault. Again, she hasn't been doing evil things basically since we met her. She's just trying to live her life. Live her unlife. Whatever. I did see we got a scythe. Let's sort by newest. So... There it is. Keen Scythe +1. I mean, Keen's nice. The 19 to 20 range is cool. But the huge drop in damage sucks. Ring Protection +3, though. I could give that to you. So you're slightly better off. Is that any better? Nope. Alright. Well, that's you slightly better equipped for the future. Let's just quickly head back to our capital, and we can talk to Jaethal to wrap up this story. I don't think she is in our throne room, so let's look for her in the main square somewhere. Maybe she hangs out in the tavern, I'm not sure. I don't remember where to find her. I don't think she's in the throne room. Are you around here somewhere? No. So let's try out the tavern. Wow, you guys are just running through that building. Huh. Wasn't expecting that. Alright, Jaethal, are you in here somewhere? Doesn't look like it. Actually, I think maybe you were upstairs, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, there you are. Jaethal greets you with a nod. Speak. Regarding this story with Tanaka and Enneo. She impressed me. What exactly would you like to discuss? Did you study the scroll? What can you tell me about the ritual? You'll laugh to know what I learned. It offers great power, a chance for a new life. To put it simply, it's a way to transfer your soul into a blood relative's body. It's not so bad if you think about it. You could choose that red-haired cousin, or the niece with the sweet dimples on her cheeks. Jaethal grins, making it clear that she was joking probably, but all my kin are in Keonan, and it's forbidden for me to go there. And even if I did, I don't know if Urgatho would be angry with my decision to regain a living body. I suggest we stop talking about the ritual. It's pointless. Unless your family is one of the ones that arrives because of Enneo. Then you'll have to make a choice. But your whole thing is about living forever in your beautiful state. Intentionally putting yourself back into a mortal body. Like, I thought it would be a way to resurrect yourself to be mortal again. Yeah, that's not okay. What can you tell me about Enneo? I must admit, the half-blood surprised me. I can say he deserves respect. It's strange, isn't it? One might instead say that he lived in prison. He lived in prison house built of dogma, and died serving it. But he was something I cannot yet fully be. An inquisitor with a purpose. Someone who sees no barrier in the service of their faith. I'd come to think that the infinite search for new sensations and pleasures was the essence of life, but perhaps this is not enough? I knew he had a goal, and he moved towards it with fascinating tenacity. He deserves our respect. I don't like Enneo's fanaticism, nor the pointless indulgence of one's whims. There must be another way. Yeah, Enneo went too far, but also just doing whatever you want for your own pleasure is not okay either. You're wrong to be inspired by Enneo's example. He was a fanatic and it led him to his death. Your desire for a carefree life of pleasure, that seems much more sensible. No, there must be another way between the fanaticism and indulging in all of your whims. Can we really choose our own way? I don't know. I shall meditate on this. Let's talk about something else. As you wish. Thank you for the conversation and farewell. Okay. I think that is that. So I'm just going to go back to my throne room. Assuming there's nothing else, no events that occur. That'll be where we end the episode. Let's see. Yes. So we're going to end the episode here. Thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you next time, where maybe it'll finally be time for the Bald Hilltop and the next phase of the story. Thanks for watching. Bye.